Happy Saturday. Hello, 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 hello. Happy Saturday. Hi, everybody. Listen, I'm just coming on here for a real quick note. Real quick note. I'm going to give it a few minutes. Spirit say go live, and so that's what I decided to do, is to be guided. I choose to be guided. I trust that everybody is having an absolutely wonderful day. A wonderful day, afternoon, evening, watching your college football, favorite college football team and all that great stuff, and staying out of drama. Staying out of drama. Staying out of the worlds of karma, where you are creating loads of karma for yourself. I trust that you are staying out of that environment. And tonight, wow, it's all right, Holy Spirit, because see, that's the subject. I'm like, are you sure you want to? Not are you sure, but yeah, maybe somebody out there is wondering, God, is this really what you want me to talk about? Is this really what you want me to do? And you're questioning, is this it? Seriously? This is what you want me to do? Yeah, that part. Okay. There's this situation in you within humankind, and that is we have a tendency as a collective to create karma for ourselves when the journey itself is already something to be reckoned with. But we have a tendency to create karma. Some people may ask, like, why is it that I keep going through the same thing over and over and over again? And that, my dears, that's a subject in and of itself, and it's going to take some time to go over, and we're not going to do all of that tonight. But I do want to be very specific about a particular area of concern when it comes to the cycles that we create in our lives. And that is, it has to do with relationships. Yeah. I was talking with someone, and they were talking about how someone, oh my gosh, you know what, this subject is pretty touching. I'm not scared. I'm just saying. Okay, God. All right, so I've touched on it a couple of times, a little bit in the past about relationships, and I'm not judging anybody because I've been there. Okay, been there, done that. When it comes to the scenario of you being with someone who has told you that they are going through something in their marriage, and you decide to still be with them. And listen, don't you touch that dial, because this is not a judgment call, that's for sure. This is something that I just want to bring up, something that really needs to be talked about on some real, on all, I'm getting ready to I'm getting ready to touch on a few corners about this subject matter, and I think you might be surprised at where I'm going to go with it. We have been used to doing, I should say, how we're going to go with it. As I choose to be guided, I also choose to, when I take my breath, I am inhaling the Spirit of God, and when I open my mouth, all of that wisdom is coming out, right? The Spirit of God. So, in our approach and our drive, our strive to be authentic, completely authentic, stepping into the era where we are no longer suppressed in any way, but rather we are living life freely, authentically, not with the chains on our mind anymore, but really stepping into the truth of who we are and being able to be whoever we are authentically. When it comes to relationships, we haven't known really how to do relationships because we were taught to suppress ourselves in relationships. We were taught bondage when we were taught love. We were taught fear when we were taught love. So much to the point that love is something that some people run from because we don't understand. We haven't understood what love truly is. Neither have we understood the course of life. So it has caused a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion in how we mate, confusion in the how and the why we get married, the why we feel that we should stay with somebody, how long we should stay with somebody, if we should leave, if we should stay, whatever we should do, how we deal with our partners. It has all been very, very questionable. And as a result of us not knowing, we have found ourselves in worlds, i.e., the relationships that we have chosen, the partners that we have chosen to be with. Many of us as a collective have found ourselves in relationships that we were not happy. That you wonder, how in the hell did you get there? Maybe you find yourself being interested in somebody else and you don't understand, but you've been suppressed to believe that you weren't able to have more than one. So you forced yourself to like the plan that you were given, and therefore you allowed yourself to suffer in a relationship because then you were told that you could not leave the relationship, that you were bound by the relationship unless there was infidelity, in which often there is infidelity. There are people who feel that have decided to walk away from the man-made structure of relationship and decided to do it the way they wanted to do it. Get it how they get it. Some decided, I'm not going to be bound by anybody. I'm choosing to be free, and I'm not going to be bound by anybody's rules and how I choose to be. My late cousin, I did post that show, Patrick Cage Sr. He said, I choose to let people know how I want to do, and they get to decide if they want to be a part of my model. But they know, each person knew that he had another person. So they were honest. Something that is respectful. Honesty is respect. Honesty is the most important thing, and the lies is something that cause so much pain. Honestly, many women have found themselves not caring so much about the actions of infidelity, but rather the lies is what tears the soul apart. As we're working on this era of choosing to be guided, allowing ourselves to go with the flow, I invite you to be honest with yourself about your desires. What do you desire? Be honest. If you were in a world where there were no rules and it was okay for you to do you, and the only thing you had to do was tell the truth, what choice would you make? What choice would you make? When you think about how many relationships have suffered because of lies and suppression, self-sabotage. Think about it. When my children were young, they had a nanny. Their nanny had a sister wife. And they chose to do life the way they chose to do it. And I remember having a conversation with my nanny once I realized that there were some questions that I had, and then she finally told me the scenario, and she said, my father was a good man. He was a great provider. He loved my mother. But he also loved XYZ. And he took care of us and he took care of everybody, but mother cried and cried and cried and cried because if I remember correctly, there were so many lies. Those things that were untold in those secrets. So my nanny decided that she was not going to live a life of deception, and she was going to be honest with herself and really say, well, look, I don't really care. I don't want you to lie to me. I had another scenario. I remember being in a music studio one day, and I heard a conversation, and that prompted another conversation when the call was over, and it was the wife calling. I didn't know this, but the wife was calling the house that the other sister wife was, and she asked, was he there? And please have him to come and pick up something along the way when he's on his way home. They laughed and chuckled over the phone and had a good time, and everything was peaceful, truthful, and love. These are conversations that we really don't want to have a lot of times. And I've been in scenarios where someone said that, I'm on my way to being divorced, or I've been divorced, and then by the time you realize the truth and you're already in love and you are in the relationship, and there you go. Do you leave now that you're in love? 9 times out of, well, I didn't. I don't know what you did, but I'll tell my story. I didn't. I did not. And there was pain there for the other party. Even though I called myself like the person that was on the Whoopi Goldberg, what was the color purple movie, when she say, well, she was in there knocking them boots or something like that. And Whoopi didn't care that he was in there doing that. And then she became friends with the lady and they were cool. And the woman really wanted to empower Whoopi, and she was a nice woman. And I figured, even in my series, the Clarissa Show, featuring Auntie Fifi, well, Auntie Fifi shares with her sister that I was a good one. I did what I did. I done paid for my karma. I don't want to go there no more. I don't want to hear about being almost out the door. Are you out the door? Do we have the papers yet? Get what I'm saying? It is so important, because for there to be truth, and for ladies, you may be in love with someone. And that's okay. If life threw you that ball, you may have to go through something to break something or whatever, but the important thing is, think about what hurt the lie would cause their spouse. So it's beyond the scenario of this is what you fell into and it's okay, and no, there is no judgment, because this is real life. And you're not the only one. You're not alone. You'll be surprised. There are so many people that do, but they don't say anything. You are not alone. What I invite you to do, Alexa, stop. Sometimes you got to tell her, just be quiet, girl. I invite you to consider the person on the other side that is being hurt. Watch how you watch how you do what you do, so that you don't create karma, not only just for yourself, but even for your seed. When you do things, you are creating karma even for your seed. And then one day you'll look down the road and you'll wonder why they're doing this or that. And it's because you did this or that. That's why they're doing this or that. Because you are intertwined with your seed. I really had to, I don't know, after the conversation that I had, that's not to be taken lightly. There was a lot of pain. Hey, look, I paid my dues. I'm not ashamed to say it. I sure did. Love is blind. Love is love. And things may happen. Life be lifing. And unless you are suppressed and never out there, I don't know. It doesn't, however you did, whatever you did, it could have been very innocent. Very innocent. And a lot of times I've known people to be in scenarios where they were very innocent. I mean, it was an innocent approach. It was innocent. By the time it happened to me another time, I was very adamant. I can't do this if there's no evidence of a true separation, because then I can question if you were really on the way out the door, if you really were where you say you were. Don't listen to family. Family be the one that got your boys back, got your girls back. Don't worry about it. Don't be worried about what a friend said they weren't together. And I talked to the mother and the father, and they said that does not mean a damn thing, baby. That doesn't mean anything. They'd be the very ones to lie for them. Don't worry about all that. What I invite you to do is to be concerned about how you take care of your business, so that you don't create no karma for yourself and you don't cause pain to somebody else. It doesn't matter that life was life and it so happened you so happened to fall in love. I know you so happened to fall in love, but once you realize the scenario, that is an opportunity for you to be strong and really to consider the other person. Don't pay no attention to what that man or that woman is saying about that spouse. I understand. And a lot of those things are very true. What you focus on is how you do your business. How you gonna handle it? How you gonna handle it? You don't want to cause pain to anybody. I asked the two that I put that through, please forgive me. Forgive me. I was forgiven a long time ago, but as I'm talking about this subject, let's keep it real again. I said it out there in the ethers, forgive me, as I went through what I went through. You understand? But this is for whoever may find yourself in a situation like that. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Your feelings can be real. You may like more than one. And then there's some men that don't like more than one. I never had a problem with men doing that, so long as you can take care of everybody that you got on the docket. That's up to you. That's on you. God, those are rules we made up. The restrictions, the bindings are rules that we made up. The divine didn't make that up. So I just want, as we are talking about cutting cords and breaking up things, be honest with yourself about the choices you've made and choose to make new decisions. Do it a different way. Because when you don't consider how you roll, you don't want to be a part of some buffoonery. You don't want to be a part of a joke. You find out that the joke that was played on you was played on with that the joke that was played on them will be played on you in the future. That just happens to be the law of the land as far as how things go around and come around. Okay? And then you'll have an opportunity to look at yourself in the mirror and decide what you're going to do. Maybe you don't feel guilty. I'm not asking you to feel guilty. I'm asking you to make the choice to consider that you don't hurt someone in the process of you doing you. So that you'll see, so that you don't have to sit back and watch that. You don't have to face that music. You don't have to go into that world and have to deal with whatever comes with that world. Mess around and mess with the wrong one. The wrong person's wife, the wrong person's husband. A child, an angelic one. See, you cannot believe in karma until you done messed with an angel. Until you have messed over a chosen one. And again, that's not as it relates to color. Your title, no one cares about the title or anything like that. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with that. What is this? Okay. Hello. One marriage caused mistrust. Oh. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Listen. I just want us not to create karma. I want us, because we're clearing the playing field. We're getting everything in order, getting all of this, getting the world in order so that we can create this new earth, this new way of being. A way of freedom, of love, of joy, of happiness. And we can't do it. It's not possible for us to do it if we're going to kick people on the way up. Oh, I don't care what, look, I'm with him. That's my man. That's my, I'm just going to do. And baby, I've seen so many people hurt in that lane. Don't do that. Don't do that. So whatever room you decide to be in, try not to create any karma for yourself when you talk about cycles. Cut the cord, cut sexual soul ties with those people that you have been with that energetically were not right. Cut the sexual soul ties, the energetic ties, and call back your power, blessed and transmuted. That's what you do now. Cleanse your aura. Go out, get grounded. Put your feet in the dirt, in the grass, and get grounded. Set intentions on purifying yourself. I also invite you to the energy frequency music. One person I really, really enjoy her, and that is Alchemy Healing. Her energy is profound. And she has wonderful alchemy healing sessions, meditations, music, etc. Go to sleep with like frequency music. I have some on my playlist for alchemy healing. Reiki. Reiki is energy. So, yeah. How y'all doing? How is everybody? Everybody? Yeah, that's just keeping it real. Yeah. Thank you for the likes. That's just being real. Just be real. I mean, and I know why it's hard. I mean, gosh. We have had we were dealt a bold card when it comes to how we were told about love. And then we wonder why. So we're not gonna ponder that. We're not gonna go back over that, but we're gonna talk about the solutions. Like we were talking about the solutions earlier when it comes to all of the circumstances that we are seeing take place as it relates to our government. Trust and believe a collective vision is the key. It is the key. Literally. Because that's just about what you can do. Right? Write a vision yourself. What do you want to see? Get a community together, and you guys stand together, say the vision out loud, and post it online. Go to my page. Go to Global Transformation Tours online. Post your vision. What is it? So we can all align with it. We can all align with it. Because it's time for us to stand together in an effective way. I want us to stop creating karma for ourselves. Okay? Look, if you don't like it, leave. It's safer for you to leave in this era than for you to stay and create karma for yourself. Everybody's going to understand, because you know what happens is even your children can respect that. It's time out for I got to stay because the kids, I got to stay. All you're doing is you are creating stress for yourself. I'm not trying to invite anybody to leave your spot. Look, what I'm saying, everybody, we are all individual souls. We have an individual soul, and you have been given the beautiful opportunity to carry some children. And for them, God, help me to raise purpose-driven children. But in order for you to do that, you're going to have to step into yours. Do you know your true purpose? And no, it's not the collective churches thing. No, it's not. That may be something that you want to do, but that's not what is your soul? What is your soul here for? So that's okay. We're going to talk about all of that. That's good. But I want you to not create karma. Sit down and talk to your spouse. Tell if your spouse can't, sometimes because of the way we have been taught about relationships, the way we've been taught about love, if you say anything somewhat to what I am saying right now, many relationships would just fall apart because they can't handle the truth. But we stay in this toxic cycle of getting in relationships, and people are jealous, and then they're, you can't even have the baby mamas can't come around without there being deception in the background and things of that. And nobody can, we can't just be family. You can't be family. Where is the love for the least of them? Where is the love? You feel me? What are we doing? It's time for us to just be honest with yourself first. And it's okay. The good news is God, our divine source energy, wants you to do that, waiting on you to just be you. Free yourself. Yeah, the rules told you you're not supposed to do this, that, and the third. Free yourself. But the first, I mean, you got to be honest, because that's so hurtful. It's so hurtful for someone to find out something. And then, you know, listen, there are some nice gentlemen. I'm gonna focus on the gentlemen, but I know ladies, you do it too now. Come on now. There are some nice gentlemen. And let's just say, gentlemen, women, they, hey, it all goes. Some very nice people, but I'm going to digress. I do want to talk about the men. I want to talk about the men because they have this stigma. We have given them this energy of they're the ones who are cheaters, and that's energy that's thrown at them. You know that, right? So there are some nice men sometimes, and I've seen nice men be taken advantage of by women too. Because the woman knows their weakness, and then the woman comes up and tempts them in ways that, God bless it, these days you can have a spell put on your ass and you don't even know, by somebody that you think that you trust, and then you find out later that they weren't to be trusted, because they found out about the ability to do something to you that would give them the opportunity to have power over you and to manipulate you mentally. Now, that's not everybody. But a lot of times what I find is that men in your makeup, you may want more than one. Say, for example. And then you get the more than one. Well, you want more than one. You suppress yourself for long enough. Maybe you're in the church or whatever it is, whatever mechanism you use to suppress your truth, you do so. And you do that for so long. And then after you do that for so long, you can't do it anymore. And then you find yourself, you're out there with Susie, Mary Jane, or maybe Tom. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that floats your boat. But you find yourself doing whatever you were doing. And then I know nice men will be hurt. They don't want to hurt the person, but they find themselves going over there, but they're scared and they can't say anything. Because having that conversation, like coming home and saying, baby, listen, I kind of like this. I felt something with this lady. You want to meet her? Let's talk. You know? You tell a man that he has that opportunity with you and won't even believe you. Trust me, I did it before. They didn't believe me. I'm like, okay, anyways. One thing I can't stand, don't lie to me now. Don't lie to me. Conversation over. Don't lie to me. Because I am, hey, look, I can take it. We can sit down and have a conversation. And then give the person an opportunity to decide what they want. What do you want? Do you want to stay or do you want to go? But this is what I'm dealing with. Like Cuz used to tell me. I'm gonna have to link that show for my subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe. I never ask you guys to do that, but can you subscribe, please? Okay. So that it helps grows our channel and it helps the movement of transformation, because that's what I am here for. I am here for that. Yes, you guys are going to be getting some treats too. I'm putting the membership together so that you will have free seminars. I mean, business development, true purpose development, the whole 9 yards, the whole 9 yards. You're going to have it all. And I love you guys so much for subscribing and being a part of the ICBG gang, baby. Yeah. Okay, so listen. It's important for there to be honesty. Gosh, I mean, more relationships have ended because people were lying. Literally. And some women, I've sat in a room and people say, I really don't care. My first husband, I got to the point, I didn't care about I don't even care. If it wasn't the abuse, I probably would have stayed. I don't know, but because I didn't care anymore about the other part. Nobody lies. All those lies. You know, it's not worth it. It really is not worth it. So you have to ask yourself about how you're going to tell the truth. How you're going to tell the truth. Okay? That is the important thing. Telling the truth and being honest and not leaving anything out. And when you do that, you have no idea of how much peace you will give somebody, how you will help someone sleep at night. You can stop the whole, you don't have to gaslight somebody, but instead you can be very, very honest. And the truth will set you and them free. The truth will set everyone free. It will stop the pain. And then you can say, listen, this is what it is. What's that? Who's that song? Cry. We cry. We cry together. Do 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 do. Oh, we cry. Cry. Yeah, that part. You may have to do that. But then you can respectfully bow out or stay. That's up to you. But don't lie. Tell the truth. And first of all, tell the truth to yourself. What is the truth? Okay? I love y'all. I just had to tell y'all that because I just cannot. I can't do it no more. I can't. What are we doing? Oh, wow. Trust the journey. So 1010. Clarity, patience, momentum's insight, happiness, progress. It's time to turn your long-held ideas into action. Soon you'll connect with the right people, encounter favorable circumstances, and access the necessary resources. As a result, you'll experience joy and new opportunities. Trust the journey and have faith in the process. Have faith in the process. If it's meant to be, it'll be. If you're meant to break, you'll break. I think one of the best friendships that I held on to in my life's journey was somebody that I kind of kicked it with. We weren't official, but I kicked it with them for a short time, and we ended up being friends a long time. You know why? Because they never would even try to fluff the idea of, oh, we're in a relationship and all that kind of talk. It wasn't that. It was clear as to who we were to each other as friends. That line was not crossed. And I can honestly say there was no pain when we decided not to be friends with benefits. Let's just keep it real. We're all adults here. It was clear, and it was freeing, and it was love, and it was joy. I could still laugh with that person because, for me, everybody's forgiven. Hey, look, I understand the greater good, the greater picture, all of that. But in this particular scenario, what I'm saying is it was something about the honesty. Like my cuz used to say, that's what I was going to say. And he said it on the show. He said, what am I lying for? This is what I like. And he loved himself enough. He loved himself enough to know that he didn't have to lie about what he wanted, but rather he was able to say, this is what I want, young lady. I like you. Maybe you can fit my team, or maybe you cannot. In this world and day and age, though, you better watch what energy you messing with. You feel me? That's what you really need to be careful of. You cannot just be, it's not safe to just be with every energy that you see that has a nice physique. That's not safe. There's too many wandering energy entities running around here. And some of them are very, 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 very well learned in divination that is not favorable. And you have to be careful. That's what you need to be careful about. You know why conscious people go on sabbaticals? Because we get to a point we don't want just any old energy. We're in love with the journey, with the game. And it is something about the ambiance of the divine. That process of co-creation is romantic. And we are not giving up our goods, our loins, to just anybody. But oh baby, I could only imagine when you are connected with someone who is also connected, that's powerful. It's unmatched. I love you guys so much. I love you so much. Yeah, I do. And like I said, we've been talking about cutting cords, getting it together, and being honest with yourself, baby. Honest with yourself. Because we got to stop all this karma, baby. It's just everywhere. It's just flying all up in the air and everywhere. It's got to go. We got to stop it. And it's really up to us. Yeah, it is. It's up to us. 777-9311. Yeah. Compromise. Self-awareness. Forgiveness. You see that? Forgiveness. Empathy. Professionalism. Resilience. And freedom. Look how the energy is flowing. You see that? You see that flow? Release what no longer serves you and let go of grudges. Openly express your emotions and seek compromise. When understanding is lacking, it's best to move forward, embrace the truth, and it will set you free. Did I not just say that? I mean, I just cannot. I mean, I'm just saying. Did I not just say that? Man, what you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Oh, look at that. And then we pull this. I just cannot, okay? Now is the time to realize your long-held ideas. You're on the right path to turning your dreams to reality, into reality. The right people, circumstances, and resources are coming together to support you. Happiness and new opportunities are within reach. Trust the journey and have faith in the process. Wow, look at that. Both. Similar message. Listen, you guys got this. Think about what it is that you want to tell your spouse. Have a talk. Because guess what? Bottom line is, if there's true love, there's going to be true honesty. And then if not, then that is something for you to consider in your process of evolution. Okay, baby? That is up to you. How you gonna do this? Because at the end of the day, your soul is individual from them. Unless they are your twin. And then if you have not had a break, maybe this is going to be that break. Because with the twin flame, there's generally, typically, most likely, 99.9% of the time, there is a necessary break that must take place. I know with me, I remember in 2017 when God guided me to take a break. Oh, God, no! We don't want to do that. Can I just do it another kind of way? You want to try to fluff it another kind of way? It's going to be what it's going to be. Oh, it's going to be. You know? I used to be hard-headed. God would say, I need you to leave. I need you to leave here. I remember when I had just gotten an office on the 24th floor of the First National Building downtown. And it wasn't very long after that. I was driving out of my garage and God said, bring your office home. Huh? What you mean? I'm overlooking Campus Martius here. I just came to the mountaintop. You want me to do what? That, shoo. What you talking about? I didn't hear that. Right? Necessary break. I went through something later that I'm not going to say that I didn't have to go through, because I'm very grateful that I did. But I wonder what would the journey have been if I had listened. If I had paid attention to the something said voice. See, that something said, if we really knew what something said was, if we really knew that something said was the Spirit of God, your spirit and angelic team, if you really knew that, you'd listen. You pay attention to the signs or the sign on the wall, on the billboard, the small still voice, whatever it is. But it's up to us. It's up to you, baby. This is your movie. We sitting on the edge of our seats. We at the end of the movie like, oh man, what they gonna do? we at the bridge like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my God, no, they didn't just do that. Oh man, he about to go in there and tell her. She about to go in there and tell him. Oh man, what they about to do? Hold on, pause it, man, pause it. Let's go get the popcorn. Oh man. It's that part of the movie. It's, hey, look. It's the bottom line. Be yourself in every room and let the chips fall where they may. There is a climax. There is a climax for you. And it's going to be good. But I need you to get there. I need you to step up to the plate first by being truthful to you. That's the only way you're going to find your peace. That's your peace. That's your true love. True love yourself. How about that? And then once you true love yourself, you're going to find that love is loving your soul that you're carrying. Here at ICBG, we know that the soul is a spirit just like you. Just doesn't have arms and legs. You're the one that's getting around and it's counting on you. It's riding on you. It needs you. It needs you to follow and be guided. It's like getting, to not do that is like your soul getting in the Uber, and the Uber is like a robot and want to do what they want to do and not taking them where they said they were going. That's what that's like. Can you imagine? Can you believe in magic? I love you guys. I gotta go. Thank you for the loves and the likes, baby. I just had to come on here and keep it real with you because, And we're going to keep talking about it. I'm glad I had this discussion with you guys. Because I'm going to be real. That's right. It is what it is. It is what it is. Different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? It's what did you do with it? How did you handle it? When you got up in that world, how you handling your business? How are you handling it? Are you hurting people? You stepping on toes? We talk about that in business. How you climbing the ladder? Are you doing anything that you got to do to get to the top and you hurting people? What are you doing? How you getting there? Do what you got to do in that world. Yeah, you stepped up in there. You made a choice. Now it's time to have a conversation. Just have a conversation. Don't be scared. Start off. And I say that with understanding because I was at a point where I could not talk about it. I don't know why I couldn't. I was just like, the cat got my tongue. Like, I wanted to say so much when I was in the situation of betrayal. I wanted to say so much because I knew a lot, but I just wanted to just be loving the way I thought just loving was, and letting, the person hurt me. But that was my choice. It's not their fault that I allowed that. I allowed it. So what I began to do to heal and to go through the process to build up the courage, I would write emails and I never would send them, but I would say them out loud and somehow it would feel good. But I always allowed myself to be guided in that scenario. Then I realized it was a part of the whole plan. That I was called to go through something to break something. So there's grace given, and you're forgiven. You're okay. I want you to know that you're okay. No judgment here at all. Been there, done that, baby. Period. And it's all good. Period. Okay? So, you guys, I love you so much. I'm really getting ready to go. Enjoy yourself, okay? On this beautiful Saturday night, okay? I love you. Thank you for the loves and the likes. You guys are absolutely amazing. Remember, I choose to be guided. Transformation, it is so. I love you.